Hi everybody, it is the beginning of another week, and this week we're going to sort of focus on arts and crafts a little bit for those of you who are creatively minded among our membership. Now, something that I wanted to tackle this week is something I really don't know a lot about, but I was actually introduced to it by one of our senior center members. Hi Denise. And it is dot painting. And so this is what I did yesterday. This is my first kick at the cat, as it were, for dot painting. And it's not bad. It's not bad. But I have learned a couple things already in doing this. So I'm going to tell you sort of how I went about doing this one and some of the supplies and things that you will use. And then we're going to try and work through doing a project together. The great thing about dot painting is it's very easy. Anybody can do it. The second thing is you don't need a lot of specialized equipment. You can make tools, or you can find things around your house that are going to give you good results. And you can do it on paper, you can do it on canvas, you can do it on rocks. In my case, I didn't have any perfectly nice little round rocks, which is kind of what I wanted to do because I do want to focus on dot mandalas for this project. But what I did have in my basement in my craft room were some old ceramic tiles, which, as you can see, I didn't paint terribly well, but I'm not going to worry about that. These were just beige ceramic tiles that I'd had from another craft project, so I just hit them with a coat or two of navy blue acrylic paint. But you can use, like I say, canvas, cardstock if you don't have anything else, okay? So in terms of the tools to get your dots, there's of course tools that you can get off of Amazon apparently. There's a whole world of dot art tools out there, but my stuff that I'm using here is really very, very basic. So I'll show you some of the tools that I sort of made or found around the house. So let's see, so these are actual dotting tools that I had. Actually, these are for nail art, for making perfect little dots on your nails when you do nail art. And they came in a set of, I think there's 5 here. Let me see. Yeah. And they're dual-ended, and there's different size on each end, so they graduate in size. So I thought, well, for sure I'm going to try and use these because these look very much like what they're showing online in some of the tutorials that they're doing. So that's great, and they work really well. I also found just a pencil that was not sharpened on either end, and I've been using the tip of that for some dotting as well for a larger size. That works great too. I had a couple of different size shish kebab skewers. Again, same principle as the pencil. You just use the flat end and you dip them in when you're doing your dotting. And then I have an assortment of paintbrushes here, and I found you can get some nice dots just using the nubby ends of the paintbrush. Just make sure, if you're using them for other projects, you want to wipe them off in between so that you don't get a lot of paint buildup. Now, something else that I am using that I really quite like, actually, just plain old Q-tips, cotton swabs. These ones I used, as you can see, with the cotton intact on the end, but I also followed a tutorial online that recommended pulling most of the cotton off and using the stumpy end, and it works quite well, actually. Let's see. I think, though, my favorite tool is one, and this is one that Denise at the Senior Center had mentioned, about just taking a normal pencil and a straight pin with like the pearl head, and sticking that into the eraser. This makes beautiful kind of mid-range generic size dots every single time. It's very consistent. I also have been using, on the opposite end, the point of the pencil to get some dots. So really basic supplies. Something else that's handy to have is either a chalk pencil or a white pencil crayon, so that you can sort of mark on your canvas or your paper or your tile, your rock, whatever you're using, so that you can find the actual center, so that you can start. So with mandalas in particular, it's all about balance, right? So you want to make sure that what you're doing on one side, you're doing to the other. So, having your quadrants and your design kind of mapped out that way, it's important. So as for the paint, I started out and I was actually trying, my first attempt was with these Liquitex paints. These are a heavier bodied, I would say, paint. Basically, when you squirt them on your little palette, you're kind of see that little, like the top of a Hershey's Kiss or the top of a Dairy Queen ice cream cone. Not the greatest thing, as I've discovered, for doing these dot paintings. In my estimation, I think you want paint that's a little more fluid, because I'm going to tell you that although this looks pretty good, I don't like the feeling of it. It's kind of picky and pointy from those little nubs when you're dotting. You don't really want that. You want it to dry nice and smooth. And so I think for this one, I'm going to revert to just generic dollar store paints that are quite a bit more liquid and fluid. I'm guessing I'm going to have better luck with these. So let's get ready for our project and see where we end up. Okay, so I'm about ready to get started. I've taken my white pencil crayon and I've measured my tile to find my exact center so that I know where to start. You won't really see much of the white pencil crayon afterwards, but even still, go very lightly. It's even better if you have chalk or something that will wash off when you're done. Okay, so I've got a little plastic plate here with my paints on them. Just chose kind of a random assortment of bright springy colors. And I think I'm going to start here. I hope you're going to be able to see this and that it's going to be sort of in focus. I think I will start, actually I was going to start with a white dot, but I think I want to start with a very bright yellow. So I'm just going to get some paint on the end of my brush and then straight up and down, I'm lining it up with the crosshairs that I've drawn, and I'm going to lift up. And there's our first dot. Wipe my brush and my paint, or the tip of my paintbrush off. And then let's see, which one do I want to go for here? I think I will go back to my my cotton swab without the cotton on it, and I think we'll do some teal green dots around, and I'm going to start one on each crosshair, straight up and down. And if you don't like the way it looks, you can always re-dip it. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put one in between each of those dots that we just made. I have no idea what kind of pattern this is going to be. No idea whatsoever. And already I can see it looks like my, somehow I got my balance off already. But you know what? It's all good. This is a creative thing and I'm not going to stress about it, and you shouldn't stress about it either. And certainly I don't expect that that we're going to be churning out results as professional as the ones we see on YouTube right away. So I'm going to flip my cotton ball over, my cotton swab, and then I'm going to go with my lime green. And I'm going to kind of pop a lime green dot in between those teal green dots that we just did. Oops. So maybe you can see that last dot that I did has kind of a little hole in the middle. That's my fault because I pushed down a little too hard. You don't really want to push all that hard when you're dotting. You just barely want to touch your tool to your surface. You don't want that. And you can always re-dip it, which I'm going to do here. There we go. That's a little better. All right, here we are, coming along. Next, what can we do now? I think I'll take my pencil and we will do hot pink. We're going to do hot pink. And we're going to go kind of right in between those line. Ooh. Now that's interesting. Looks like maybe I need to give my paint a shake. So what I'm going to do quickly here, I'm going to try and take most of this off with a clean cotton swab. And as you can see, crisis averted, but it does look like I need to shake my pink paint. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I will be back. Okay, well, that pink paint was not going to cooperate for me for love nor money. So that's all right. We're rolling with it. And I decided to use a bright orange instead. And I guess this is just one of those things, I think I'll turn that you learn as you're doing this. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. Whoops, wipe the tip of my pencil off here so it doesn't get all crusty on me. Now, here's where it gets kind of fun. I'm going to get into, let's see, do we want to go white or do we want to do purple or what do we want to do? I really wish that pink had worked. What can we do? What can we do? Let's go with, I'm going to use one of my dotting tools that I use for nail art, one of the larger size ones. And I think we're going to do white for now. And I'm going to start at the top of each orange circle, and I'm going to dot and bring it around. And then what I've seen online indicates that you go back over that first dot that you made on the other side and you walk it down. So it starts looking like that. So again, I'm going to dot and then I'm going to carry it down. Dot and carry it down. And I'm just going to continue. And the dots do get smaller naturally as you go along and your paint runs out. It's looking not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to continue with that and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I'm back and you can see that I did manage to get a little bit of pink on there. I had to shake the living heck out of my bottle, but it's okay. It's still not, I would like the pink to have figured more in the design, but I just don't think the color is going to cooperate. I think it's just sat on my shelf a little bit too long, so that's okay. Pressing onward, we are going to try and incorporate, though, some purple. And so I've gone back to my tip of my pencil and straight up and down, and I am going to drop one purple dot in at the top of each of those white little domes that we did. Now, I would recommend when you're doing this that you turn. Just don't want to turn it and not have you be able to see what I'm doing, but it's much easier when you're working on your own if you can just turn this. Because you don't want to do this and then drag your wrist through everything that you've just done. That would be frustrating. Okay, so that's done. So it's coming together. It's not looking too bad. And I have to say, I really do prefer the thinner paint to the thicker paint that I was using last night. Okay, so since I literally have no idea where this design is going, we're just going to keep right on chugging along here. I think with the purple, I'm going to go back to the orange, and I've got my little pin rather, stuck in the tip of my pencil. And I'm going to go around and do that. So I will meet you back. Okay, so I went in and I did all the little orange dots, and then I used the same tool, which is my pin in the top of my pencil, and some yellow paint, and I went in and added dots. Now, I can see where my pattern is getting a little bit wonky. I'm kind of chalking it up right now to the fact that I'm working at a very odd angle, trying to make sure that you guys can see this as I'm doing it. But you know what? I really won't matter so much. It's fun. This is really quite fun and very therapeutic. I can totally see why people get into this, and you know, just the different color combinations and all the things you could do. And I mean, if you are doing these on ceramic tiles like this, I mean, if you let it dry and then gave it a coat of like poly, it would be a great little coaster. Put some felt knobs on the back to protect your surface, and that would be a great little set of coasters for somebody. So I'm just going to keep working away, and I would challenge you to do whatever you like in whatever color combinations, and use whatever materials you have around your house. I will post a picture of my finished product here when I'm done, and when I post it on Facebook, I would love it if you guys would also post some of the things that you have done, whether you've already done them before this tutorial or whether you do them because you've seen this. So I would really like to see what you guys are up to as well. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. Okay, so here's my finished product. Looks a little bit chaotic. And yeah, there's mistakes. You can see where some of my dots have run together in the corners, or my pattern, the balance is a little bit off. It's not quite symmetrical. It's all good. I actually like this one better, even with all the mistakes, than the very first one I did. So anyways, I hope this is something that you guys would consider trying at home. It's super simple. It doesn't take a lot of supplies. And if you do only have stiffer paints at home, just thin them out with a drop or two of water until they're a more liquid viscosity for you. Again, post anything that you guys do on Facebook so we can have a look, and keep yourselves busy and keep yourselves safe. We'll talk soon. Bye now.